Want to sell your home for top dollar without a real estate agent? Over the next 5 minutes, I'm going to walk you through the best techniques and strategies when it comes to staging and showcasing your home. These very simple strategies have been worth thousands of dollars to my clients who have sold their homes for sale by owner. Now, you might be a visual person like me, and because of that, I'm also going to send you my free training where I walk through actual homes and I show you exactly how to implement all of my techniques and strategies. I'll also send you a link that's worth $50 off professional photography with one of the best nationwide photography companies out there if you decide to get professional pictures made for your home. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Wendy Atherton. I'm the owner and founder of Home Partners Marketing, where I work exclusively with for sale by owners to help them market and sell their home without an agent. I've generated thousands of buyers for properties, and I'm an expert at marketing homes online. In my videos, you'll find at least one strategy that you can implement to help you get your home sold for top dollar. So over the next 5 minutes, I'm going to walk you through the best techniques to use when it comes to staging and showcasing your home. So let's go ahead and get right to it. Okay, so first, the simplest but most effective thing you can do is to declutter and minimize. So as you're walking through your home, we want to have clean countertops with very minimal things on them. That's for kitchens, bathrooms, and any kind of decorative shelving that you might have. Less is more. So typically, if you have like a cutout bookshelf or something like that, you want to have, one or two simple pieces. You don't want to have a whole bunch there. And minimizing what's in the home, one, it kind of gets you a little bit of a head start on packing, but just allows buyers to really get a good sense for the space. And a lot of buyers struggle sometimes with imagining their things in a home when you have a lot of your things in the home. So we want to put away as much as we can, pack up any personal photographs. I recommend that you go ahead and take those off. You want buyers to see their family in the home, and that can be kind of tough sometimes when there's a ton of pictures of your family in the home. So we want to go ahead and do that. And decluttering, less is more. So if you have a lot of furniture, sometimes people have a lot of furniture in rooms, like family rooms or living spaces, it's best to just go ahead and maybe reduce some of those pieces, right? So move those things out. If you're going to sell furniture, go ahead and get it sold so that you can declutter and minimize what's in your home. Okay, so that's number one. The second thing that you want to do is what I call simple repairs and improvements. So one of the most expensive things that I see mistakes made by for sale by owners and sellers in general is there's just simple home maintenance, like a little bit of wood rot at the front door, or maybe your entry door handle is really worn out. It just makes the home look like it hasn't been maintained as well, and it creates an impression in the mind of the buyer, and they think, oh, well, what other deferred maintenance is there in this house? So I suggest if there's simple repairs like patching a hole or some basic little touch-up paint, those are great things to do. It really spruces up the look of your home. One thing that I really encourage is power washing. So a lot of times power washing can make such a big difference outside of your home in terms of that first impression. People, especially, if it's kind of, after yucky winter months, just going ahead and doing a little freshen up will get all those cobwebs out of the way, get all that grime off, and makes your house look so much better. And just very simple lawn updates, landscaping, mulch can make a big difference, right? So just little things like that aren't expensive can really change the way that a buyer perceives your home. Now, when it comes to major renovations, I typically don't recommend that you go spend a whole bunch of money, to do crazy things like renovating a kitchen. Depends on your market, of course, your price point, all of those things, but I'm always a little bit leery recommending that somebody does major renovations without really analyzing the pricing in your area. But you can do paint is a great investment, especially if you have, if you have little kids or you have rooms that, maybe we're very specific in your home, maybe neutralizing those is a good idea. And, carpets are the other thing. So, I would suggest if you have carpets that are in really rough shape, one, if you can't clean them, and sometimes you can, if you can clean your carpets to make them look presentable, then you should do that. If they're just not salvageable, I would replace carpet. It just really makes a big difference. And you're probably going to end up paying for it anyway, because the buyer's going to ask for an allowance or some type of a price concession. So those are just good things to do. Okay. Third, let's talk about staging and what I call optimizing. So I think a lot of times sellers can get a little bit intimidated by staging because it sounds like all this, someone's going to come in and just completely refurnish your home. Those can be very pricey projects and can cost some money. Typically, you don't need a full staging. You just need to make very simple adjustments with what you already have. So good examples are anytime you're walking, for example, into your living room or family space, if you find that you have to walk around things, there's like pieces of furniture that are obstructing what would be natural walkthroughs, I recommend that you move those pieces. And again, remember, we're just staging your home so that we can present it for sale. This isn't how you're permanently going to live in it. So, just taking that piece out can make a big difference. Also, if you have areas in your home, and you'll see this in my training, where there's spaces that maybe it's hard for a buyer to imagine. Sometimes there's like flex spaces or bonus rooms, those types of things. It is a good thing to have some furniture in those to stage what that room could be used for. Sometimes it's hard for buyers to imagine. So, typically I don't love just having vacant rooms just for the sake of being empty. It's not the end of the world, but especially if you have spaces that are going to be tough for the buyer to visualize, to have some furniture in those. So it's all about minimizing what you have and optimizing the furniture that you already have so that it shows well. I think if you think about simple things like throw pillows, like a nice piece of art, like a decorative looking piece of art, sometimes can really help a room. So if you think about when you walk into a room, you want what's the focal point of that room? What does the eye draw to? And you want to direct that. So if you're, for example, if you've got a beautiful window in your primary bedroom, well, that's what you want to showcase. So, you don't want a whole bunch of things blocking that window, for example, or making it seem like that window is, you can't get the light through the window, right? So peel back those heavy curtains would be an example. In a living room, if you have a fireplace, that's probably the focal point of your living room. You want to make sure that fireplace doesn't have a lot of clutter on the mantle or around it, right? You want that to really pop. Might make sense to have a nice piece of art, nearby as well. So those are just some ideas, fresh, like if you have a kitchen mat, right? Make sure it's kind of looks good. Might be worth $10 at Walmart to just get like a new door entry, right? For your guests when they come in to see your house. So simple things like that can make a big difference. My fourth and final thing that I see a lot of times really hinder people's ability to get the most for their home is photography. The quality of your photography is really important because the majority, 89% of buyers are going to see your home online in some way, shape, or form. And whether or not they stop and even look at the second, third, fourth, or more picture is really dependent upon that very first image. So you want, if you're not great at taking photos, I do recommend you really look at hiring a professional photographer to do that. You can get photography for a couple $100 in most parts of the country. So it's a great investment. It does pay off. And when you have a photographer come out, and I would suggest somebody who's an expert in real estate photography because they know how to optimize for lighting and how to orient those photos in the best way to really showcase your house. So I cannot emphasize photography enough. And you, I'm sure, have seen some pretty rough looking pictures of homes online where it's dark, it's just hard to tell what's going on in the house. So that would be my fourth recommendation. Drop a comment below. I'll send you my detailed free training where I walk through examples of this, all these points in actual homes to show you what you should and shouldn't do. And I'll send you my link for $50 off my favorite photographer who has photographers nationwide. Thanks a lot.